Welcome, everyone. It's so good to have you all here tonight. We're just thrilled to be doing this. The band is going to be kind of walking out on stage while I talk for a minute because the band needs to be present. But we're going to introduce most of the band in just a little bit, not immediately. So anyway, thanks everyone for being here in person, and thanks for the live stream folks that are watching us on the internet. This is a party that we're doing to celebrate the launch of my new book. What's the name of my book now? The Calculus of Life, A Practical Guide to Transcendence. And I've spent the last 4.5 years writing this book, and I'm thrilled with it, and I hope some other people are going to be at least enjoy it. We'll see what happens. I hope so. We've got a bunch of world-class music happening tonight, and you're going to hear a lot of good tunes, and you're going to hear a lot of good musicians. The second set, Scotty Barnhart from the Count Basie Band will be leading the group, and so that's going to be fun too. Anyway, we'll get to all of that. Right now, I want to tell you about my cousin Jim. He lives in northern Minnesota, and I visited him last summer, and Jim said, "David, you got a new book. You're writing this book, and it's almost done. What's going on with it?" And I realized, boy, Jim and I have nothing in common, and he's never going to understand if I describe what this book really is in the terms that I'm used to describing it. It's just not going to happen. So I said, well, Jim, you tell me. Let me ask you a question. Now, you race vintage snowmobiles, and you restore them, and you recondition them. What do you do to recondition a vintage snowmobile? And Jim said, oh, it's easy. All you have to do is take it completely apart, and you clean every part meticulously, and you inspect every part meticulously, and if any part is damaged or extra dirty or needs some repair, you repair each part, and if a part is so badly gone that it needs to be replaced, you replace it, and if you can replace it with a part that is an upgraded part that's been made since the snowmobile was made, then you upgrade the part. So, and if you do all of this, it's just amazing what happens, because then the snowmobile goes back together pretty easily than when it was taken apart, and it runs better. And a lot of times it runs better than it did when it was new. And I said, Jim, you just described exactly what my book is all about. I told him that, except that instead of engines, clutches, and transmissions, we're rebuilding our human layers of cognition, function, and awareness. And that's what the calculus of life of my book is. Describes all of this in very great detail. So the name Calculus of Life sets some people off, because some people have like emotional trauma from high school math class, right? Okay, no, I get that. Yeah, Jeff, singing plumber, is raising his hand. Yeah, so I totally get that. So the simple definition of calculus, if you look it up in the dictionary, is that calculus is just the study of constant change. Boom, that's it. That's what calculus is. And that's it. And the last time I checked, life is constant change. That's what life is, right? So, and along the way, we navigate that change in ways that define our life. So this is my book. Navigating Change Sometimes Shines Light. I'm going to have to read this now. Is that okay? Navigating Change Sometimes Shines Light on parts of ourselves that have been damaged, lost, or forgotten over time. When we identify those parts, then repair them or replace them, we can transform into a more unified whole, and everything in life improves, just like in snowmobiles, just like in anything else. The musicians you're about to hear tonight live for the moments when the parts fit together better. That's what they dream of. That's what they fantasize about. That's what they live for. Most of them will say they get it once or twice a year on a good year. This allows them to elevate beyond themselves, to musically communicate a wider spectrum of the human condition with more spontaneity, and to be able to express themselves in new, creative ways. That's the gig. That's what this is all about. That's why you're here tonight, is to hear this. So the goal of navigating the calculus of life is the same transcendence that elite musicians experience, but you don't have to be a musician to experience it. You don't have to. Ask Maureen Sakon. She'll tell you. You just need to reconnect to more of who you already are at your highest potential. And that's how I wrote this book, is with that inspiration in mind, to help anyone, musicians and non-musicians alike, to experience some of the seemingly magical transcendence that their favorite musicians channel at peak moments in performance. That's the gig, that's my book, that's what you're going to hear tonight. So let's see if the band is out here. We got everybody here? The band is all here tonight. So I'm going to introduce the band in a few minutes, but the first thing I'm going to do is just mention a couple of things quick. This coming Saturday, there's a bookstore event at New Renaissance Books on Northwest 23rd, where I'll be giving a much longer talk about the book. And there's also going to be some small group jazz with those of you that are locals. Randy Porter is going to be playing with another favorite colleague of his. And I think it's going to be a great time at New Renaissance Books. That's 3 p.m. Saturday, and you can sign up online, and I think there's some QR codes on pieces of paper around here. If you want to just scan those, you can sign up if you want to do that, and then you can hear what's going on in more detail. Also, the programs that are on everyone's seat tonight get into more detail about what I just described. So if you're interested in what I described, you read the program to get more, and then if you're really interested, you buy a book. Okay. All right. So one of the things that happened to me last summer that was really fun was Terrence Blanchard came to town, and Terrence is amazing. I don't know, he's won 6 or 8 Grammy Awards, and he just got elected to the Academy of Arts and Letters. I mean, this guy is just all over it. He's got operas that have been performed at the Met. He's a jazz trumpet player, but he's moved beyond that to do more things. Through honestly, through the techniques that I talk about in my book, although he didn't need to read my book to do them, all this stuff just comes to the great players automatically. They've got it built in. The great players are all experts at Raja Yoga. So anyway, what I thought it would be fun to do is to do what Herbie Hancock and Terrence did when I went to their gig last summer. Because what Herbie Hancock, people know who Herbie Hancock is, right? So what Herbie does before every gig is they do the sound check, they do the dinner, and then they go to Herbie's dressing room and they do a Buddhist chanting meditation that elevates them so far beyond themselves that they can get sometimes to source, the source of all manifestation, all physical manifestation, all thought, everything, to source. It's a big deal. This is kind of what my book is about, actually. It is exactly what my book is about, transcending to source. So I want to do a quick little meditation with all of you tonight so you can get just a little bit of a taste of the first meditation that's in part 2 of my book. It's chapter 13. And it'll be fun to have the band join in on this and also do the meditation. Now, a lot of the folks in this band have been on my table, and I've worked with them, and they know this meditation, and they know way more than this meditation. But this is a good beginning meditation if you're not familiar with this stuff. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, and this will probably take, I hope it'll be less than 5 minutes. It'll be quick, and then we're going to have music. So for this meditation, I want you to, if you would, if you're comfortable, close your eyes, and then just scan yourself and see what your presence is in this room. Are you bigger or smaller in how you perceive your presence than your physical body? Where are you? And how large are you? Are you a couple inches smaller? Are you the size of a grapefruit? Are you way beyond the physical body? 6 inches, 8 inches, 2 feet? How big are you? And then what I'd like you to do is make sure that you're not sitting with your back up against the back of the chair. So sit forward just a tiny little bit. Get your feet flat on the floor and make your feet, if you would, roughly hip distance apart. And the toes are pointing forward so that your feet are aligned and your hips can be kind of open. And then for those of you that have done this before, this is easy. For those of you that haven't done it before, including the people on the live stream at home, just pretend, because I'm going to ask you to breathe through your feet and through your whole body. So what we're going to do is inhale through the feet right now, come up through the feet from the earth, come up through the ankles, Inhale up through the knees and hips and come up to your heart on the inhale. And then on the exhale, exhale from your heart out the top of your head. And when you're ready, inhale again through your feet. Bring the breath up to your heart. And when the breath gets to your heart, you exhale out from the heart, through the neck, out the top of the head. And if your head is pivoted up and your chin is kind of up in the air, tuck in your chin and extend your neck, and this will get real easier real quick. Good. One more time. You're going to inhale through the bottom of your feet, come up through the feet, through the legs, through the hips, into the torso, and exhale from the heart out the top of your head. You guys are doing great. And then just let all that go for a minute and hang out and see how that feels. And notice your presence in the room right now. And then we're just going to flip it around. I want you now to inhale through the top of your heads and inhale from the top of the head down through the head, through the neck to the heart. And then just exhale from the heart down your torso, through your hips, down your legs, and out the feet. We're just clearing the conduit. That's all we're doing here. So again, inhale through the top of the head. Good. And then bring it into the heart. Exhale from the heart, down the torso, out the legs, out the feet. Notice the flow. If the flow is slow in any part of the body, then you can kind of really focus on that area to clear whatever is in the way. One more time, and then we're done. Just inhale through the top of the head. Last time. To the heart. Fill up the heart with the light from above. Circulate that around your body, and then exhale out from the heart, down out the feet, to complete the conduit from the light of heaven above to the outrageous, unlimited power of the earth below. And then just sit and enjoy that for just a moment. You can scan and see what your presence in the room is now. Are you bigger or are you smaller, or what has changed? A lot of people shaking their head yes when I said, are you bigger? And people are shaking their head yes. Diane Ostergaard is shaking her head yes. Good. So this is called the Conduit of Light meditation, and it's kind of the warm-up meditation for every other guided Raja Yoga meditation in my book. I love this meditation. Again, the folks on stage know this. They can do this in their sleep. And the world-class jazz musicians I work with, this stuff is all so easy for them. It's like nothing. When you're ready, open your eyes and look around the room. And you might find that your vision is a little bit different, because if you do this for any length of time and if you kind of get used to it, it changes how you see stuff. And it's just the start. Jeff even took his glasses off. Nice. So that's the Conduit of Light meditation. I'd like to introduce the band right now, and we're going to go right into having them play so that hopefully we can hear some really inspired, great jazz that these guys always generate. It's just amazing what they do. And so please help me welcome, and I'll introduce everybody before you applaud. This is Grammy winner Charlie Porter, who's leading the band. His saxophone player, Nick Biello, who I love, one of my favorite people on earth. And I don't really know Garrett Baxter that well, but everybody says, we got to play with Garrett. We got to play with Garrett. Garrett's got to be here. So that's why Garrett is here. We got Christopher Brown, who I've admired for years, but I haven't really got to know very well. But Chris Brown is here, and we're very happy to have you here, Christopher. And then the great George Colligan is here.
Thank you very much. Might I add that it's intimidating to be here. Well, not only after Dave talks about reaching basically enlightenment while you're playing. No pressure at all. But with people like Scotty Barnhart and Charlie Schluter out in the audience, wherever. Yeah, I mean, there's just like a bunch of heavy trumpet players here. So it's an honor for me to be able to play here amongst all of these fine musicians, who many of whom these are idols of mine. So thank you. And this band, of course, and my brother from another mother, Nick, here. We play together all the time. He came all the way out from Astoria, New York, to be here. So give it up to Nick. Right. So the first thing we played was actually from this album that has not been released yet, called Cypher. And maybe some of you came to the show where we played the music from Cypher. And it's actually it's a long story. But if you're interested about a treasure hunt, a musical treasure hunt, where there's an actual prize that you have to find that's embedded in the music, then come see me afterwards and I'll tell you all about the album. And then we kind of segued into the Coltrane Blues, but it's not Coltrane. It's a kind of a tribute to Coltrane, John Coltrane, but it's actually a Coltrane. Nick and I, we teach at the summer festival, and it's like a performance/educational thing, and there's always this pesky Coltrane that comes through, and right at the most like, right? It's like the most delicate moments, and it just so anyway, I named it the Coltrane Blues, and we're going to continue on with another tune that was actually on my latest album, which two of the tracks have been, I should say, they dropped. If I want to, is that even current anymore? Yeah, I dropped 2 tracks. I got another one coming up. Anyway, the full album will be released in June, and this next tune is an original composition entitled Tread Lightly from the same album. And we're going to start it off with Garrett Baxter. Christopher Brown on the drums. We're going to follow that up with a tune composed by Nick Biello. Do you want to introduce this? It's called Queen of Jordan. Okay. I'll do it in a Nick Biello voice. This is Nick. So we're going to play Queen of Jordan that I composed back in 2023. There we go. So it's about a Queen of Jordan. What is this about, actually? Tell them what it's about. Okay, come over here.
I'm going to charge you extra for this, by the way. Okay, yeah, so this is an original that Charlie and I, and also George, recorded also in Portland. We had a gig at the 1905 last August, and then we went to the studio and recorded a record that will be out later this year on the La Reserve label. You gave me the microphone, man. This is your own fault. Anyway, this song was written for a really good friend of mine, and she was named for the Queen of Jordan, and her name is Aaliyah. So this is a song for a very soulful person. And for all you jazz fans out there, if you can hear what chord changes this song is based off of, I gave you a little hint with the word soulful. I will compensate you in some way after the show. Perhaps buy you a beer. Oh yeah, free album that is not yet out, but it'll be an IOU.
Thank you. We had a couple more tunes to play, but time is short, and I'm gonna hand it back over to Dave. But I just wanted to say congratulations to Dave Monette on, yes. And I'm sure I won't be the only one to say that all night, but I know how much hard work has gone into this, and it's a labor of love, and I'm so happy you invited me and us to be a part of it to celebrate the birth of this book. So thank you, Dave. And yeah. Come on up.
All right, everyone. Boy, aren't these guys great? Charlie Porter. I mean, oh my God. I think what we might do is we might have Charlie and Nick and the guys play a tune or two to start the second set, and then we'll turn Scotty loose with what we're going to do to finish up. Because these guys, I talked too long, and these guys hardly got started. So we want to have them play a little bit in the second set. Scotty, is that okay with you? Oh, Scotty's great. He's so gracious. So a couple of quick announcements. Let's see. For those of you that have purchased books and would like them signed, I'm going to be in the break room here, and I'll be holding a Sharpie. And for those of you that would like to buy a book, please do that. You can see BJ, same location in the break room here, if you want to purchase a book. And again, if you're so inclined, please come to New Renaissance Books on Saturday. It's the start of Memorial Day weekend, so I think the attendance might be a little bit skinny because a lot of people are going out of town. But if you're in town and you got an hour and a half to kill, Saturday afternoon at 3, please come by New Renaissance Bookstore, and you'll get way more explanation of what's going on with the book. And you're going to get great music by Charlie, by Randy Porter. I always get Randy and Charlie Porter confused. I don't know why. I'm getting old or something. Yeah. So Randy Porter is going to be playing piano, and we're just gonna have a great time on Saturday. So, yeah, that's all I know. We're going to take about a 15-minute break, come back for the second set, and then Scotty's going to be joining us after a tune or two, and we'll see what we can do to finish up the night. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Oh, there we go. It's working. All right, everyone, time for a second set. I have a few introductions to do, though, before we do the second set. The folks standing behind me are listed individually in your program, and these are the people that really make everything, including my book and everything else, happen. Without them, I'm just lost. These are the geniuses who I just love, my coworkers at this shop. We have Scott Herm Anderson, Joel Johnson, Jason Gunderson, who runs the place for me. Any of these people, I'd be lost without these folks. Then we got Mick, who's the latest person working with us, Mick Geronimo, who we just love. He's great. BJ Cord, the head person that works with customer relations for mouthpieces and stuff, and that would be four people's worth of job right there. So BJ does amazing work. The genius of the CNC lathes at Monette, John Kim. Our amazing shop foreman, Jamie Wozniak. Unbelievable what he does. Yeah, and then Jeff Snyder is not with us because he's got a gig tonight. He's actually, I think Jeff is conducting tonight, isn't he? Yeah. Anyway, Jeff has a gig. He's hard to miss. He's 6'8" tall, and he is the Superman of the Monette shop, and he's been working with me for 32 years, which is amazing. So anyway, thank you all. Thanks, you guys. There's so many people in this audience that I would love to introduce, but I'm going to take just a moment and introduce a couple more. So now I'm going to get all emotional. There's two people here tonight where there would be no book without these people. The book that I just wrote, it would not exist. The first one is my editor, Nick Gervais, and he's right there. Stand up, Nick. Yeah, there would be no book without Nick. And Nick, in addition to having been an editor for Apple and for the company Next, he's retired from all of that work except for helping me. And then Nick is also a Feldenkrais practitioner and has a successful private practice in the Bay Area. So he was perfect to edit this book. It was just amazing. The other person that would be impossible to have my book without is Carol Gray. Carol, would you please stand up? Carol Gray is the founder of the eponymous Carol Gray Center for Craniosacral Studies. She is the one that put up with me long enough to get me certified in craniosacral therapy. And Carol is beyond amazing. I could go on for 10 minutes about Carol, but since she's written up extensively in the book, just read the book. But Carol might be the only human being on earth that understands every single word of the book that I wrote. Every word. Because she helped edit it too. Okay, so one of the things that's going on tonight is we're having the 41st anniversary of the first Monette trumpet being built. And that anniversary is May 22nd, which is just a few hours from now. And so 41 years ago, I lived in Bloomington, Indiana, and I was finishing the first two Monette trumpets. And who was there but my friend Jerry Webster, who came in from Washington State and helped me finish the horns. And 40 years later, he helped me final edit the book. He content edited the book with me. He's read every chapter and every draft multiple times, he and Carol, I think. Just amazing who Jerry is and what he does. And Jerry, I just can't thank you enough for everything that you do. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry Webster. And at the time all that was happening, Jerry and I finished the horns. We jumped in the car. And we drove to Ithaca, New York, where the Trumpet Guild Conference was happening, where we introduced Monette trumpets to the trumpet world. And who was there but the one person sitting next to Jerry, which is Charlie Schluter, the legendary principal trumpet from the Boston Symphony. And Charlie got serial number 3 and serial number 5 Monette trumpets. Number 4 went to Bud in the Chicago Symphony, and 1 and 2 went to my mentor at Indiana University, where I lived at the time, Charlie Gorham, who has left us, but actually his family left me his 2 horns. So I have serial number 1 and 2 in a beautiful, beautiful display case that Sean and Amy down in Eugene made. And where's Sean and Amy? Right there. You guys are just fantastic. So I could go around the room and invite and introduce everyone in this room, because if you're here tonight, it's because I love you more than you could possibly know. But one person I have to mention out loud no matter what is Fred Sauter. Right here, Fred Sauter, another legendary trumpet player from the Oregon Symphony. Fred supported me when he had no reason to support me, and we had so much fun. And Fred is described in the book in lots of places, especially in the chapter under What Else, Fred, in the resonance appendix of the book, because that's Fred Sauter. His middle name is Resonance. So anyway, Scotty Barnhart's sitting out here, but you're going to meet him in a couple of tunes when he comes up and plays for you before we finish up tonight. Scotty, it's so great for you to come tonight. Yeah. Anyway, I could stand up here forever and introduce people, but I'm going to stop and let these guys play some more music. I hope you love the music as much as I do. And if anybody else needs stuff signed that I haven't had time to sign, we can do that after the show as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And also, if you see those beautiful illustrations in the book, that's my wife, Tessa, over there. So. We're going to play a little bit of a tune, well, I guess the whole tune, it's from my first album. It's entitled Anthem. Thank you. And now we are going to invite up the incredible Scotty Barnhart. He's going to show you how a Monette trumpet's really played.
Hello, everybody. We have no idea what we're going to play, but we'll figure this out. Just give me 10 seconds. We won a Grammy Award. Is that what you mean? But I have to say, though, that was for Mr. Basie. That wasn't me. I mean, I did the project, I thought of it, but it was still Mr. Basie. So Mr. Basie is still affecting the music world. He won his first Grammy in 1958, and 66 years later, he's still winning them. So that's a serious deal. So it's Mr. Basie. I was there to get it, but it's Mr. Basie. So anyway, we'll figure out what we're going to play. So we're going to do a song, a great American standard. This is called It Could Happen to You. Do I need to play this for the live stream thing? Yeah, that one. This one here? This is Our Love Is Here to Stay. How about it for George Colligan at the piano? George Colligan, ladies and gentlemen. Garrett Baxter on the bass. Chris Brown on the drums. Chris Brown. Nick Bielo on the saxophone. And my man Charlie Porter on the trumpet. Charlie Porter. And how about it for Manny Laureano earlier? Where's Manny? Manny Laureano played earlier back there. Manny Laureano. Beautiful, Manny. Thank you so much. How about a nice standing ovation for Dave Monette? Dave Monette, thank you. Come on out, man. Come out here, Dave. Come on over, man. Come on over. Dave Monette, ladies and gentlemen. All of this would not be possible without him. I'm Scotty Barnard. Thank you so much.
Scotty Barnhart. Charlie Porter. Nick Bielo. Christopher Brown on drums. George Colligan on piano, the great George Colligan. Garrett Baxter on bass. Charlie just said they'd kind of like to do one more, but only if Scotty will play. Can we do that? You guys up for one more? We'll make it a short one.
This is St. Thomas by Sonny Rollins.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dave Monette. Thank you, Scotty. I'll remember this beating forever.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. This has just been so much fun. If you want to know more about this crazy book that I wrote, calculusoflife.org is the website. You go there, you can buy the book if you want online. I just love you guys, or you wouldn't be here. Thank you for coming, and thanks for enjoying this music with me. Good night. Bless you all.